The stillness of Willow Lake was deceptive. By day, it gleamed with an inviting serenity, its placid waters reflecting the azure sky and the dense canopy of trees that encircled it. But by night, an unsettling silence would fall over the area, and whispers of old, dark secrets would seem to drift across the water. James and Emily Harris had always dreamed of owning a lakeside retreat, a place where they could escape the hustle and bustle of their busy city lives. When they found the listing for an old but charming lake house on the secluded shores of Willow Lake, it felt like fate. The price was suspiciously low, but the couple, blinded by the allure of their dream, didn't question their good fortune. The first few days at the lake house were magical. They spent their time exploring the surrounding woods, swimming in the cool waters, and enjoying the spectacular sunsets. But as the days passed, an eerie atmosphere began to envelop the house. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and cast long shadows over the lake, Emily noticed something strange. While preparing dinner in the kitchen, she glimpsed a figure standing at the edge of the dock. She called out to James, but by the time he arrived, the figure had vanished. James dismissed it as a trick of the light, but Emily couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. That night, Emily was awakened by the sound of soft, rhythmic tapping. She nudged James, who groggily got out of bed to investigate. The tapping grew louder as he approached the living room. When he reached the source of the noise, he found the front door slightly ajar, swaying gently in the breeze. A cold shiver ran down his spine. He locked the door and returned to bed, but sleep eluded him. Over the next few days, the strange occurrences escalated. Doors would open and close on their own, the temperature would suddenly drop, and disembodied whispers could be heard echoing through the house. Desperate for answers, James and Emily decided to dig deeper into the history of the lake house. They reached out to the local historian, Mr. Caldwell, who was more than willing to share the dark past of Willow Lake. According to him, the house had once belonged to a reclusive widow named Agnes Walker. Local legend had it that Agnes was a witch who had drowned in the lake under mysterious circumstances. Some said her spirit still lingered, seeking vengeance on anyone who dared to disturb her resting place. Determined to uncover the truth, James and Emily decided to investigate the grounds. As they wandered through the overgrown garden, they stumbled upon an old, weathered tombstone partially hidden by the dense foliage. The inscription read, Agnes Walker, 1890 to 1924. May she find peace in the waters of Willow Lake. That night, the haunting reached a terrifying crescendo. The house seemed to come alive with malevolent energy. Objects flew off shelves, windows shattered, and the whispers grew louder and more insistent. The very walls of the house seemed to pulse with a sinister force. As they huddled together in their bedroom, the tapping sound returned, louder and more frantic than ever. It seemed to be coming from inside the room. James and Emily turned to see a shadowy figure standing at the foot of their bed. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, and its presence filled the room with an overwhelming sense of dread. In a final, desperate act, James grabbed a lantern and hurled it at the figure. The lantern shattered, and the flames quickly spread, engulfing the room in fire. The figure let out a blood-curdling scream and vanished, leaving behind only the charred remains of the lake house. James and Emily barely escaped with their lives, vowing never to return to Willow Lake. The house was reduced to ashes, but the legend of Agnes Walker and the haunting of Willow Lake lived on, a chilling reminder of the dark secrets that lurk beneath the surface of even the most serene places.